So in my last two videos where I made fun of who Jake Paul chose to fight, all these Jake Paul suckers, the JPSs, came out the woodwork and started talking about every boxer does this. Go and look at who this guy fought for his first fights. Why don't you fight him, big mouth? And honestly, I'm probably more qualified to fight Jake Paul at the rate he's going. If we look at who Jake Paul's opponents were, there is nothing special about this whatsoever. I said this on my last videos and I'll say it again. This is a pathetic record belonging to someone like Jake. With how much he talks about himself being a great boxer and who he gets to train him, I'd expect him to be calling out people like Ryan Garcia, not people who could be his fucking grandpa. Now, even if we just ignore the first 6 fights and focus on the last 4, this picture alone tells you that he is scared to lose. Don't be fooled by all this promotion and how he says his next opponent is a real fighter with more experience than him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has more experience than me, but I can guarantee you that I'd beat him on a one-on-one. Never mind that he can't even fucking walk correctly. He's a legend, guys. He's a legend. But now I want to see what you guys have to say about his next opponent. If you guys haven't heard, Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah, the guy who hasn't fought a professional fight since 2005. Some of you weren't even a thought in your dad's fucking nuts yet. And still, you guys are going to be like, it's Iron Mike. They put him in UFC 5 for a reason. Now, don't get me wrong. Mike Tyson was a great boxer. But just 2 years ago, there's a video of him walking with a fucking cane. There's even MMA accounts who were like, Mike Tyson is a 57-year-old who suffers from sciatica, a nerve condition that requires him to use a wheelchair and or a walking cane at times. Everyone involved in making this fight happen should be ashamed of themselves. Like, Jake is actually fighting people who could be considered fucking handicapped. And I get that Mike Tyson wouldn't have taken this fight if he didn't think he could still get in the ring. But what the fuck is Jake doing even calling him out? Jake is ranked in the top 20 for the US rankings and almost in the top 100 for the world rankings. You're going to tell me there isn't one active boxer who he could have challenged? He could have even gone below him. He would have literally looked better challenging the person who is ranked last, who is 0-1, and that only loss was to someone who was 0-16, both of whom fit the qualifications to fight Jake if we're just going based off his last 3 fights. And what's funny is that I bet he's taking these fights because no one wants to fight him. They would rather have a real win under their belt than a fucking gimmick one that's being given out by Netflix. There's a reason Tommy Fury said he doesn't want to do any more of this crossover boxing nonsense. It's because the people who are challenging are literally beating up senior citizens for respect. And if that wasn't enough, Jake posted this video of Mike boxing and is like, he's the greatest heavyweight of all time, the most vicious KO artist ever, but I'm younger, I'm faster, and I'm going to work my ass off to get stronger. And then the community notes is like, calm down, this is 4 years old. And then remember, this was from 2 years ago. I'm surprised he didn't post one of his fights as saying, this is what I'm going up against. You see when he bit off Holyfield's ear? I think he's gonna bite off both of mine. The picture they even use of Mike for this promo is from 19 years ago. They just photoshopped the tattoo on his chest. How do you look at all this and still be like, Jake is going to be one of the greatest boxers of all time? Yeah, by fucking default. It's going to be 20 years from now and he's going to have a record of 101 because the only people he's fighting haven't fought the whole time he's been fighting people. I get that Jake has a huge ego and thinks every fight he's in is the biggest one, but at some point he has to realize that while your diehard fans may think this is cool, the opinions of the people who matter are way more important. Because I don't care who you are, there's no way you can genuinely look at this and be like, this is a good fight for you. This is going to show people what you're really made of. If you do, then you're a fucking liar. And to all the people who told me to look up who Gervonta Davis fought for his first fights or any other boxer you mentioned, I did. And none of them chose to fight someone who's been retired for longer than they've been fighting for. There's literally no excuse you can give me that would make this fight any more valid than it already isn't. Jake's record is basically as respectable as KSI's, who also lost to Tommy. I cannot wait to see what Jake Paul's fans say in the comment this time, because Jake has your guys' work cut out for you. Just when you think he's gonna have a regular fight, he announces this and y'all are all like, are you serious? You know we're the ones defending you, right? Fuck. Jake Paul is the greatest boxer ever, and you don't know boxing, you fucking idiot. That's what you wanted? We look like idiots! At this rate, his next fight's going to be against Muhammad Ali in the fucking metaverse, and y'all would still act like he's going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. Shut the fudge up and accept that Jake is going down a path of mediocrity. See you guys Monday, Sunday, maybe Sunday. Peace.